Hey guys, how's it going? Back in another video today. Today I want to talk to you about 5 mistakes that I've made in the past when dieting down, and I just want to share them with you today so that you don't make the same mistakes as I once did if you are going to potentially go on a diet sometime soon or maybe even for summer. So I just want to talk to you about them today just to make sure that you don't make these mistakes and that in the future then you know how to execute a diet better. So the first thing I want to talk to you today about is carbs. So obviously carbohydrates are sources of fuel, and from this you get energy and sugar stores from them. So firstly, what a lot of people do is when they're on a diet is that they'll cut their carbs right down, and this is something that you need to make sure that you don't do, because carbs are going to be the things that provide you with your most amount of energy in your day. So if you cut them right down, then it's going to be very difficult for you to have energy throughout your day, therefore making it tougher just to do daily activities. So things that I would suggest firstly is keep your carbs high and then drop them down slowly. In doing this, it means that you're able to then reduce your calories over time, but at the same time, you aren't going to be affected too much. So for instance, for me and my dad, I started off with around 300 grams of carbs, and now I've dropped down to about 275. But that's in the past, I've maybe started at 200 grams of carbs or even lower, just because I think that if you're eating less carbs, then you're more likely to lose more weight. But in the past, I've found that it's really affected my moods as well as my energy levels. And as a result, then I haven't been able to meet the targets and goals that I've set myself because I just haven't had enough food or enough energy so that I can perform well in the gym and even when I have to do cardio. So it's things that I've had to look at and try and change over time. As well as that, I just want to add into it as well. A thing that people decide to do a lot of the time is take out bread out of their diet. And I just want to say as well, bread is a really good source of carbohydrates as well. If you get some breads, there could be a good load of protein in them. So don't be cutting them out and think that these are the worst things in the world. Just time them around maybe training and things like that, so you're getting that boost of carbohydrates when you need it most, and that would be around your training. And then maybe on off days, just reduce the amount of carbs that you're having, maybe by about 15 grams, just so that then you can still stay in a deficit somewhat more than what you would be then on, say, a total of on a training day. Another mistake that I made as well is thinking that the less calories I eat, the better. So for instance, say I'm on 2,000 calories a day and I'm only sitting on 1,800, and I'll think, yeah, that's great, I'll save these 200 calories for another time, or even I just won't eat those 200 calories. And yes, that's good and well at the start because you'll see on the scales that your weight will drop a little bit quicker, but quite soon after, your body will then adjust to these new calories, meaning that it'll be harder for you to drop weight because you'll have to drop your calories lower. So as I was saying, for instance, if I was eating 2,000 calories, or meant to be eating 2,000 calories and only eating 1,800, my body would then get used to eating 1,800 calories. And therefore, when my body gets used to that and I start hitting plateaus, for me to then actually get more results, I would have to drop below 1,800 calories to see a difference in my weight because of the plateau, which therefore means I then have to go deeper, for instance, say 1,700 calories, which is something that is not healthy for a sustained period of time. And the reason I'm telling you this is because if you eat your calories to the right amount, you can then slowly and progressively over time drop your calories down a little bit lower, which will then allow you to see results and also better results at the same time because you're doing things properly. And it will also then as well limit the amount of muscle loss that could occur from dieting down, because it is quite possible to happen, but if you do it slowly enough and in the correct way, then you're more likely to maintain the amount of muscle that you've built in, say, your bulking or gaining phase over the last number of years and months, compared to then potentially losing some because you didn't do your diet properly. So if you do your diet properly, then you should minimize if any muscle loss happens, or even at most like have no muscle loss because you've actually executed a diet properly. So I just want you to think about that one as well, because I feel like if you can make sure to eat your calories and eat the right amount of calories as well, then this should be an issue that shouldn't happen. And as well as that, try to stay away from liquid calories. I would always try and go for 0-calorie drinks if possible, because if you're drinking caloric drinks, then it's going to be harder for you to hit your goals and macros for the day, because then you'll have less calories to get in. Say that extra 20 calories that will just be empty calories, say from a tin of Coke or something like that. And you could then have had a 0-calorie drink such as your Monster Ultras, something like that, which would make such a difference then as well. So in the past, I'm sure you have thought of it yourselves, even I have. What about just doing as much cardio as you can and just trying to get the overall expenditure throughout the day as high as possible and try and eat as low calories as possible? Again, it's yes, well and good at the start, but very quickly your body adapts to this. With me personally, I think the cardio should only be used as a tool later on in your diet. Because personally, for me, from my diet when I started it about 6 weeks ago, maybe just a wee bit under now, I haven't done any cardio whatsoever, and I won't be starting cardio for another few weeks. And this is because I think the cardio it's perfectly used as a tool, and as well as that, I can find cardio really boring at times, so I just don't see the point in it. If you're going out for your 10k steps a day or getting your steps in, then I don't see a reason why you would need to go and do cardio. Because for me personally, I've dropped near enough 5 kilos now just from going out and walks and eating food. Like, it's simple as this. Providing that you're in a deficit on a daily basis, you will lose weight. So there's no need to go and get on the Stairmaster, say, for 20 minutes every day and just burn yourself out, because it's not sustainable. And if you're going to do it, then I would recommend only doing it once or twice a week, especially at the start, because there's no need to go out and burn yourself out. A diet's meant to be done over a long-ish period of time, so about 3 months or so, because this allows you time to just implement things into your diet over time slowly. It's just so that your body can keep changing and not knowing what's going on. Like, that's the whole point that I see from dieting. If you can keep your body guessing the whole time about what's going to come next, then your body is going to have to keep changing and it will never be able to keep up. But when you get into a routine of things are more likely going to then happen. So that's why I would say with your cardio, wait until later on, because if your body starts getting used to the 10,000 steps a day, then that's no bother. Let your body get used to that, because then the next thing what you can do is you can implement that cardio just to help you drop that little bit more of body fat that you're looking to drop, just so that you can look somewhat more chiseled, or even just looking that wee bit more defined when it comes into summer. And I tell you now, just make sure that you don't burn yourself out, because I've found in the past that I've thought cardio is the best thing in the world. Just do it as much as you can, hit the treadmill or Stairmaster hard, and I've paid the negative effects of it, and I tell you, it was not good. Coming home every day thinking, is like I said before, dropping your calories and doing as much cardio as possible. I tell you now, it was one of the worst times, and it was only recently that I was doing these things, probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So just make sure you aren't doing this as well. One thing that I have done, but I wouldn't have talked about it much, is taking rest. So for me personally, with taking rest, it is so important. I honestly think rest could be almost as important or even more important as actually working out. For me personally, I would normally only train about 5 days a week in the gym, and that's plenty for me because it allows me plenty of rest time at the same time. And I do believe as well that if you don't take enough rest, your body won't be able to properly function and recover properly when you're in the gym. So I want to just say for this one, yes, it's all well and good to go into the gym working out, but you need to listen to your body for what it's saying. And if you need to rest, take it. For instance, sometimes I find that before I started that, taking a deload week or taking a week off the gym just helps me so much that when I go into my diet, then I'm more focused and I'm ready to go. So the main thing that I want you to take away from this is listen to your body. Your body knows what's best for you. You don't need to be going to the gym and hitting PBs every week, every day. Take your time, build up that mind-muscle connection, build up the sister muscles that are going to help you get stronger. Take your time. This isn't a sprint. If you want to build muscle, it's a marathon. You should not be rushing the process. So therefore, you need to implement in rest time. For me personally, during a year of training, I would take probably about a month off at least just to recover. Like for instance, if you go on a holiday, take that week off if you're due a deload week, or plan it in to take a deload week when you're going on holidays. And as well, you'll know when your body needs it, because you won't be able to perform as well. You'll be feeling more sluggish, as well as that you just won't feel right. You'll be feeling tired all the time. And if you listen to your body, you'll know if you need to take a deload week or a rest week. And I'm sure plenty of you now, if you listen to your bodies, you will know that you need to take a rest. and take that rest, because your body will thank you for it and you will feel so much better. And I can guarantee that when you go back to the gym, you'll either be able to lift stronger or you'll be almost stronger than when you left, because taking that week off, it just allows all the muscles to repair themselves and it can just be the world of good. So try and take that on board. If you need a rest week, take it. It's not the worst thing in the world just to take some time off and just let your body get fully recovered. Alright, so this is one that is probably going to rattle a few people's cages, but it needs to be talked about. If you aren't getting 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep a night, then you need to sort shit out. It's as simple as that. You need to be getting enough sleep to fully recover as well. You need to go through all the cycles of sleep. When you're in a deep sleep, that is when your body will fully repair itself. And if you aren't getting enough sleep, your body won't go through enough cycles of deep sleep to recover. And if you aren't doing this, then you're going to perform shit in the gym. I don't care if you think having 5 hours or staying up on the PlayStation to 3 o'clock in the morning is a great idea. It's not. It's going to fuck with you and it's going to be absolutely terrible for you. You need to be getting your sleep. Get yourself a fitness tracker or anything that can record your sleep. For me, it was a massive surprise to me when I first got my Fitbit and started recording my sleep about how shit it was. And it was horrendous. I was only maybe getting 6.5, 7 hours of sleep. And I know I needed to change that. For me personally, I thought I was getting enough sleep. I would have been going to bed, say, at 11 o'clock at night and getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning thinking I would be getting 9 hours of sleep. But that doesn't happen because, firstly, I was sitting on my phone maybe late at night and I wasn't actually then going to bed to maybe until 12, half 12, which then just cut my sleep right down. As well as that, if you're on your phone, get off it. Get off half an hour before, because the blue light that's coming from your phone will keep you awake. You need to stop getting on your phone. And as well as that, if you want to be successful, the successful people in their lives aren't going to be on their phones. They're going to be the ones who are going to be working behind the scenes to make the difference. If you're on your phone, then you're more than likely looking for motivation or you're bored. So get off your phone and get on to doing something that's going to make you more successful. Read that book that you've been planning to read. Just do that at night. Do that for 10, 15 minutes before you go to bed and turn your phone off. There's no need for it, because at the end of the day, what are you going to be doing at 10 o'clock at night? Who's going to be out? Unless you're out drinking, which is fair enough to do sometimes, but if you're on that, I would say stay away from alcohol as much as possible. I have covered in past videos about alcohol and what you should be taking, so maybe watch that. I'll link that up there and link it in the comments as well. But yeah, you need to just get off the phone at night and allow your body to fully recover and rest. So try this, right? For the next week, I want you to put your phone down half an hour before you go to bed and just allow your body to fully relax. Maybe read a book or just stick on a podcast and just listen to it with your earphones, but your phone's not on and you're not watching it, because I find that doing that will just allow you to recover a bit more, in the sense that allow your body to relax, so that when you go to sleep, you'll get your full sleep or your full amount of sleep that is needed. You should always aim for 8 hours. So if you know that you're having to get up early in the morning, then go to bed earlier. You're not going to be missing out on anything. And if you do have that fear of missing out, well then, you know what you need to do. You just need to teach yourself that it's not going to be the worst thing in the world missing out on 2 to 3 hours, because in that time, people are going to be joining you and going to bed themselves. You're not going to be missing out. You just need to teach your body that it's okay not to be there all the time. And I've especially myself learned over time that not being there is actually sometimes better than being there, because at the end of the day, then you're putting your body in the right position to fully recover. Okay guys, so that's my 5 tips for you to try and help yourself through your diet over the next number of months. Don't take them too personally if you feel like some of them offended you, if they have, especially the sleeping one, because it's just my advice, and at the end of the day, you don't have to take it. So anyway guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe. And actually, I'm going to ask for the first time if you could actually ding dong that notification bell. Just doing that will allow you to hear when I have a new video uploaded, and it'll help out. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe, as it'll help me out so much. We're on the road to 200 subscribers, and for me it's a big milestone to hit, so I'm hoping to hit it as soon as possible. And if you could get me there a wee bit quicker, I would really appreciate it. But anyway guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. So until next time, goodbye.